The March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom took place in Washington, D.C. on August 28, 1963. Attended by some 250,000 people, it was the largest demonstration ever seen in the nation's capital and one of the first to have extensive television coverage. Welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Stephanie Bryant, coming to you from the state capitol, and joining me is Dr. Joel E. Anderson, the Chancellor for the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. Thanks so much for joining me. When we talk about the civil rights movement, talk about some of the things that UALR has done with education in that area.
One of the commitments we made back in 2005 in a planning process was that the university was going to be a keeper of the flame on the issue of race, because in my judgment it's the #1 problem in the state of Arkansas. So since then we've set in motion a whole set of activities and programs to raise consciousness and to sort of move the state along toward a better future. And among the things we've done is annually we've done a survey of racial attitudes here in Pulaski County. I think one of the best known and probably broad in terms of impact of the activities that we've done.
Yeah, definitely looking over that. Since 2003, you guys have initiated that survey. It really gives people an idea on the attitudes of many minorities in the area.
It does, and it actually is a parallel survey of both whites and African Americans. And so they're separate surveys, so you can see the similarities and the contrasts in attitudes. And on many things, white people and black people see things alike, and on many things, they don't see things alike. And it's informative to know the differences.
Yeah, and what do you guys do with that information?
Well, the main thing we do is we share it with people. We want it to inform discussion and dialogue and to stimulate people to think about the issue of race here in our community. So we do speeches, we appear on radio programs, on television programs, we involve our students in discussions of it, we involve our faculty in discussions of it, and we've gotten a lot of mileage out of it.
Yeah, and when we talk about the civil rights movement and the March on Washington, how is it being used to help educate UALR students, staff, and faculty?
We recently established an institute on race and ethnicity, and one of the specific goals of the institute was to involve students in the issue of race and ethnicity. And that's included internships in the institute itself, and then the involvement of students in the research projects of faculty members on race, as well as participation in campus events and off-campus events that relate to race and ethnicity. So some really enriching experiences for the future leaders of our country.
And when we talk about how far we've come since the march, there's definitely still a far ways to go.
That's one of the important things that everyone needs to understand, and not everyone does. Some people think that, you know, we've elected Barack Obama, and that's proof positive that there's not an issue anymore. And that's not the case at all. We've come a long way, but we have a long way to go. If you stop and think about it, the Little Rock 9 now have grandchildren, and we still have racial issues in our public schools. If you start talking about any major community or state problem, the issue of race entangles it and makes it more difficult to deal with.
All right, great program and great initiatives. Thanks so much, Dr. Anderson. Today's Comcast Newsmakers guest was Dr. Joel E. Anderson, the Chancellor for the University of Arkansas at Little Rock.